Hi guys, it's Taylor and welcome back to my channel. Sorry for my sort of weird hair. It's like really frizzy today, so I'm just gonna apologize for that now. So today I am really excited to bring you a book review, something that I don't do often. So the book I'm going to be talking about today is Lobizona by Romina Garber. I guess it's kind of appropriate that my hair is sort of wild today because Lobizona is about werewolves. So I was basically sent an e-arc of Lobizona by St. Martin's Press and Wednesday Book as part of a blog tour for Lobizona. So if you don't know what Lobizona is about, it is a young adult novel. It follows Manuela Azul, also known as Manu. She and her mother are undocumented immigrants from Argentina. They're not only running from the criminals who killed her father, they are also in hiding from ICE agents in the United States. However, the life that she knew and everything that she thought she was running from and hiding from changes when her grandmother is mysteriously attacked and her mother is arrested by ICE agents. Manu decides to follow the only clue that she has to her true past and learns about the world that her father is from, which also so happens to be the world of brujas or witches or lobizones or werewolves. So what are my overall thoughts on Lobizona? I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars, which I should point out is not a bad rating. I think people see anything less than 4 stars and assume that I just didn't like the book. 3 out of 5 stars means that I liked it. I thought it was good. There were a couple of issues that I had with it, but overall I thought it was an enjoyable YA novel. So I did think that it was really cool to read a young adult novel that discussed undocumented immigrants. I hadn't done that since I read Lupita Manana like 10 years ago. And I felt like a lot of the conversation surrounding undocumented immigrants was handled very maturely and with a lot of compassion. I also really did like the parallels drawn between Manu's illegal status in the United States as well as her legal status in the world of lobizones and brujas. I also really liked how connected the book was to Argentine culture. It is not a culture that I am personally very familiar with, so it was really nice to sort of learn more about the culture and the customs. This is more of a small detail, but I also really liked that the book mentioned that Spanish from different countries sounds different. It wasn't something that I knew growing up because I was really only around Spanish from Mexico and maybe Central America, and I was taught in school Spanish from Spain. So I didn't really know that there was too much of a difference between different forms of Spanish until I went to college and my freshman year roommate was Cuban, and it sounds a lot different than Mexican Spanish. So I really thought that was a cool little detail to put in because a lot of people don't realize that Latinx people are not a monolith. And this is just a very minor spoiler. There was a plot twist at the end that I felt was really well executed and that I really enjoyed. So what did I think about the characters? For the most part, the characters were fine. There weren't a lot that really stood out to me. I liked Manu as a protagonist. She was always sort of engaging with the world really well and very pleasant to read about. Her love interest, Tiago, was fine. I wasn't really swayed by him either way. I didn't think he was a bad love interest, but I didn't think he was particularly memorable. I will, however, die for Catalina, and I have like a lot of cue cards written up here. For Catalina and Cesa, I thought they were really interesting and probably the best part of the book. As far as the writing goes, I thought this book was very beautifully written. The prose was incredibly poetic. I also really enjoyed how seamlessly the Spanish and English were blended into this book. Sometimes there weren't direct translations to the Spanish and you kind of had to use context clues to figure out what the person speaking Spanish was saying. What I also really liked was when the book did decide to translate some of the Spanish, it wasn't, in most books you'll have the English in standard text and then the foreign language would be in italics. But in this case, if someone is speaking in Spanish, that is in a standard text, and then when they translate, the English is in italics. It's just a really nice little detail that I really enjoyed, and I thought sort of broke down this sort of colonialist pro-English structure that we see in literature. So what didn't I enjoy as much about this book? There wasn't much, actually. I did feel like the pacing was kind of slow in some parts. You know, every once in a while the book would kind of grind to a halt and I was just kind of like, okay, let's move it on. Let's have some more Catalina, please. I just think I would have appreciated a little bit more of a faster pace for a book like this. And it also has this trope that I will say is in a lot of stuff and I hate it 90% of the time. and it's just so common, so you can imagine, like, I am a little bit more lenient on this book, but it does sort of bother me whenever it pops up in anything, where the main character has, like, a sordid past, or they're dangerous people, like, you know, a magical agency or a monster that is after them, and the parents do not tell them because they want to protect them. Why wouldn't you tell your kids so that they can recognize a danger when it arrives and either run from it, hide for it, or know what to do? I just never got the whole hiding information from your kid thing, because when it's a life or death situation, you want them to be able to react instantly. I don't know. It's just a trope that I don't enjoy because it doesn't make much sense to me. The light is coming in, and as you can see, it is just slicing my face. And the only other reason that I rated it 3.5 out of 5 stars is just that as of right now, I'm not in a young adult mood, so it's not really the book's fault. It was more of a me problem. But I would also say that my 2 complaints were enough to drop it down to a 3.5 star, which is still very good. I think it's a good score. So yes, I definitely do recommend Lobizona. I think it's a good young adult novel that explores Argentine culture and mythology and folklore. It also has a really cool magic system, and I like the characters well enough, and I am interested to see where the series goes. Have you read Lobizona? Do you plan on reading Lobizona? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, everyone. I was going to howl at the end of this video, but then I decided not to. Yeah, no, I can't do it. Sorry.